Hello, welcome to MMM Global Social Finance Network presentation. When someone would ask you what is the condition of the world around you, is wealth fairly distributed and enjoyed by everyone? Or is the gap between those who have and those who have not big enough that those who don't have can barely meet ends meet? People driven to work hard just to have a decent meal a day, while others just sit and enjoy the finest things in life. You don't have to go any further. Just beside you is one. The world is unjust and inhumane. Why do people who really work, doing a tremendous amount of work, receive so little, just enough for them to meet their human basic need? Is that poverty? Then what is poverty? Poverty is not just a lack of money. It's about the lack of opportunities, lack of choices, a lack of access to essential things in life. It's a lack of hope. Poverty is pronounced deprivation in well-being, including low incomes and the ability to acquire the basic needs necessary for the survival of dignity. But all of these are primarily rooted in one thing, and that is money. But why? What caused poverty? Why are we enslaved financially? Everybody deserves to be happy, and if a person can afford to get what he wants, then he and his family will be happy. If only he can get equal pay from the labors that he does, then he will have the freedom to do whatever he wants. We need to look at our financial system to know why we are enslaved, that no matter what we do, we seem to go back to where we started. Now, who controls the financial system? The Federal Reserve System, or the Feds, virtually controls the nation's monetary system, yet it is accountable to no one. It has no budget, it is subject to no audit, and no congressional committee knows of or can truly supervise its operation. So what's inside the Federal Reserve System? Please bear with me.
In order to begin to understand how our financial system works, we need to go back to the early 1900s, 1910 to be exact. Everyone at some point in their lives has heard of the Federal Reserve, but most likely don't understand what it is or how it works. The Federal Reserve, referred to as the Fed, is a central bank that many economists refer to as the biggest robbery ever enacted on the American people. The reason for this is because the Federal Reserve is neither part of the federal government nor does it have any reserves. Yet, this single organization controls the money supply of the most powerful country in the world. The Fed is very diligent in hiding the fact that they are not part of the government. The last is that our government does not control our own money. In order to achieve this, they were very clever and decided to call their institution the Federal Reserve. And by labeling themselves this way, the general public never thought twice about who was in control of the country's money supply. If the Federal Reserve is not part of the government, then who controls this private organization and how did this come to be? The answer to this question is what changed the course of our country forever. In November of 1910, a secret meeting took place of 6 bankers and economic policymakers who represented the financial elite of the Western world. It was hosted at the J.P. Morgan estate on Jekyll Island in Georgia. In attendance was Senator Nelson W. Aldrich, Abram Pyatt Andrew Jr., Assistant Secretary of the Treasury, Frank Vanderlip, President of National City Bank of New York, Henry P. Davidson, Senior Partner of J.P. Morgan and Company, Charles D. Norton, President of First National Bank of New York, Paul Warburg, Director of Wells Fargo, Benjamin Strong, the emissary for J.P. Morgan and, coincidentally, the first president of the Federal Reserve. Years later, Vanderlip referred to this meeting as the actual conception of what eventually became the Federal Reserve System. This meeting was so secret at the time that not even the names of those who attended were mentioned to the servants who lived and worked on the island. The men who attended came on a late-night train, claiming to be on their way to a hunting expedition, but instead, these bankers met with Senator Nelson Aldrich to draft what would eventually become the Federal Reserve Act. This private meeting, attended by some of the most powerful men in America, was strategically designed to take control of our country's money supply and to achieve ultimate power in America. Mayer Amschad Rothschild, one of the most powerful European bankers of his time, stated it best when he said, "Permit me to issue and control the money of the nation, and I care not who makes its laws." On December 23, 1913, 2 days before Christmas, when most people in Congress were home with their families, the Federal Reserve Act was signed into law by President Woodrow Wilson. That single act, however small it may seem, transferred the control of our monetary system from our government into the hands of some of the wealthiest men in our country. Putting into law the Federal Reserve Act gave unlimited power to a few wealthy banking institutions in America. The Fed has the power to issue currency, bailouts, yet Congress and the President are not allowed full oversight over this powerful organization. The Federal Reserve enjoys a monopoly over the creation of our nation's money and credit, but for 100 years, they have never been completely transparent and accountable about it. And we don't have to look back too far from today to see what it looks like in real life. When testifying before Congress in 2009, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke refused to disclose which institutions received trillions of dollars in these bailouts and loans, or give our representatives details about what deals were being made.
So my question to you is, will you tell the American people to whom you lent $2.2 trillion of their dollars? Will you tell us who got that money and what the terms are of those agreements?
Hundreds and hundreds of banks, any bank or that has access to the U.S. Federal Reserve's discount.
Will you tell us who they are?
No.
In an interview with Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner, he makes the stunning assertion that conducting a full audit of the Federal Reserve, something never before done in its 100-year history, is a line that we don't want to cross. To be denied full transparency of these transactions after U.S. taxpayers contributed over $16 trillion to these bailouts and loans is unthinkable and unconstitutional. It is our right as American citizens to know where our money is being spent. It's very ironic that if you don't give the IRS full transparency with your finances, you go to jail. But if you're a private organization of elite bankers that controls the money supply of a country, you're free to do as you please without full oversight. This private organization is arrogant in the fact that the same accounting laws that apply to the rest of America do not apply to them.
There is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
Their control appears to be unlimited, and 2008 is the most recent example of how much power the Fed actually has on our country.
Many of us were told in private conversations that if we voted against this bill on Monday, it would fall, the market would drop 2,000 or 3,000 points the first day, another couple thousand the second day, and a few members were even told that there would be martial law in America if we voted no. That's what I call fear-mongering.
The elite banking institutions took trillions of dollars worth of risk, and when they lost their bets, they threatened politicians to use taxpayer money to bail them out, or else we would face an Armageddon type of scenario. This historic change of power in America is again why many economists refer to it as the biggest robbery ever enacted on the American people.
So now we know what is happening. And this is the reason why we're enslaved. Part of the reason. If everybody deserves to be happy, and if a person can afford to get what he wants, then he and his family will be happy. If only he can get an equal pay from the labors that he does, then he have the freedom to do whatever he wants. But that is not the case. Everybody breaks through back working, and only to find out that they are still in desperate need of money. And in that situation, the great majority of the working class take loans from the banks. It is evident that by the increasing holders of credit cards users, even through the financing institutions that gives housing loans, car loans, life insurances, security systems and others. But come to think of it, it is our money that they are lending us, and with high interest. The banks, financial institutions and governments are the ones who profits and benefits from the earnings of the working class with little effort. They earn huge amount of money which they don't deserve. So, how does a banker make his money? Don't you know that bankers don't have their own money? Ain't that a surprise? Yes, bankers don't have their own money. Please, let's listen to what the banking system is.
Banks are the most heavily subsidized businesses in the world, specially protected by governments. While the money runs out for the rest of us, the largest private banks still thrive. This is because they get the biggest subsidy of them all.
The license to print money.
Hard to believe? Martin Wolf, the chief economics editor at the Financial Times, said it recently. The essence of the contemporary monetary system is the creation of money out of nothing by private banks, often foolish lending. You heard that right. Private banks create money out of nothing. Then they loan it to us and ask for interest on top. If you've ever wondered why the bank buildings around the world soar higher than any palace or spire ever did, you now have the answer. But the banks don't simply print money using secret printing presses in their basements. They don't have to. Like so many other things these days, printing money has now gone digital. With the popular use of debit cards, electronic fund transfers and internet banking, only 3% of the money in the UK is now made of paper and metal coin. The other 97% is entirely in computers. Electronic money is convenient for everyone, but it's especially convenient for the private banks, since they own, run and control the entire digital money system. And what do they do with this special privilege? Do they channel new money, the blood supply of the nation, towards the things we need, like hospitals, schools, universities and public transport? Not if it doesn't make a profit for them. Instead, they use their license to print money to gamble on the financial markets and push house prices out of reach of ordinary people by pumping hundreds of billions of pounds into risky mortgages. This is exactly how the banks caused the financial crisis. And now the rest of us are being asked to pay for it. If we can't afford to run hospitals and build schools, can we really afford to subsidize the financial industry? Should we have to live with less so the bankers can have more? This is ludicrous, and it's time to put a stop to it. The private banks can't be trusted to hold the reins to our entire economy. We need to take away the bank's power to create money out of nothing. This will stop them from causing yet another financial meltdown and allow us to afford the crucial services that we as a society need.
A man saw this imbalance and unjust condition that we are in. He wanted to free us from this bondage and servitude. Determined to check this uncanny financial order, he created a mutual aid system to solve this problem and level the playing field where everyone will live in equality, prosperity, and joy life. This man is Sergei Muldrowy, who founded MMM, seeking to create a new financial structure where people will be helping people, working on the principle of equality, reciprocity, honesty, respect, and benevolence. Sergei Muldrowy is a graduate of mathematics and worked as a programmer. He was one of the pioneers who worked on the first operating system. He was elected as a deputy in the State of Duma. His books were published in bookstores, and two of his screenplays turned into movies. So, what is MMM? MMM is a community where people help each other. MMM gives you a technical basic program which helps millions of participants worldwide to find those who need help, and those who are ready to provide help for free. All transferred funds to another participant are your help given by your own goodwill to another one. MMM is a bank. It's not a bank. MMM does not collect your money. MMM is not an online business. It's not a high-yield investment program or an MLM program. MMM is a large social financial network. Here, millions of participants across the globe voluntarily cooperate and provide selfless assistance to each other. So in no other way, the financial slavery will be defeated and people will be happy. People transferred money directly to each other, completely of their own free will, without any guarantees. The man, having decided to become a part of the world's largest system of mutual aid, is ready to help financially another person who may be and completely on the other side of the earth. How does it work? How does it work? People agreed to help each other with money without any guarantees and promises. You don't have to make contracts nor pledge your property. There are no lenders and no debtors. Everything is very simple. One asks for help and another one helps. Today you provide help to someone. Tomorrow you get help and someone will help you. The only thing MMM demands from each participant is to be honest to each other. You ask for financial help when you need it. Give when you are able to do it. Everybody gains this trustful financial relationship. Rules of MMM. Invites must first be registered using the referral link of the one who invited him. In so doing, he will have his own online personal office. This is where he transacts his business online. New participants must first be able to provide help before he can get help. Upon confirmation of help provided, he can now get help. Only one account is allowed per participant. Minimum amount to provide help is 200 Philippine peso. Always be honest, helpful, and respectful with one another. Benefits and bonuses. For every donation you give, you will be given points called Mabros. From the moment of deposit, your Mabros will grow at the rate of 30% per month and compounded monthly. The total amount of Mabros you acquire will be the amount of help you get. Referral bonuses are also given. You will get 10% referral bonus for every deposits from all participants you invited. Inviting new participants is an additional improvement in the community, although it is not required for new participants to invite. This bonus is given so that members are rewarded for actively helping in the development of the community. Managers bonus. MMM managers can create their own multi-level structure and get bonuses from each donation of each participant in the structure. This is a multi-level bonus. Thus, a manager can have his own leaders whose rank is higher. Manager's bonus depends upon his level in the community. The manager's bonus given extends from 5% from the second level, 3% from the third, 1% from the fourth level, 0.5% from the fifth level, 0.3% from the sixth level, and 0.01% from seventh level up to infinity. Registration bonus. When signing in, participants are granted with bonus from $20 to $100. Definitely, this money is given to full participants making their first contribution. $20 are given for those donations given from $50 to $499. $50 are given for those donations given at $500 to $2,999, and $100 are given for donations amounting to $3,000 or more. Mabru Extra. We make this participation in MMM more attractive and useful for everybody. We encourage our participants to be involved in the development of MMM. Due to these reasons, we've established MMM Extra. This model allows each participant to get 100% per month. This new model itself is data-based website, thus available in your personal office and designed to promote MMM worldwide. We offer you an opportunity to perform this task in your personal office, and as a reward, your Mabru will grow up to 100% per month. In order to make your Mabru grow up to 100% per month, you have to perform this task on a daily basis, and your Mabru will grow on a daily basis as well. Together with this task, you will find all the necessary instructions and recommendations and screenshots, so it will be very easy for everybody to complete any task from the list. Leadership training. For participants who wish to promote the community but lack sufficient knowledge on how to successfully invite strangers into the system, the Manager Schools was established. The Manager School is an online school which is completely free and affordable to each participant. From now on, the participants will no longer experience a problem in attracting new people. There is now a unique chance to undergo full training with the experts and become a true professional. You will gain all the necessary knowledge that will guide you to reach your goal on a professional status. Lottery. Lottery is free. MMM community offers its participants to take part in a lottery. The lottery is held once a week. Participants have to guess 6 numbers selected by random number generator. Those who have guessed the first 2 or more numbers are winners. If none of the participants have picked the right numbers, the prize fund for the category of numbers that haven't been guessed is added to the next lottery draw. It means next week's prize fund increases and makes up jackpot. Now, we know what causes our financial enslavement and why is it so hard to gain money. Just like Sergei Modrovy said, the truth is almost always unpleasant. It's unattractive and unpleasant. It is only a lie. which is nice, beautiful, and elegant. And just like Harriet Tubman says, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. Now, for us, we know what is enslavement, how we are being enslaved by the financial institutions and the banks, by the feds. Now you know. Now we know. The truth is just in front of our eyes, that you and me, every one of us are slaves, with money as our invisible shackles. Non-acceptance of this truth would only prolong this enslavement and strengthen their power over us and the generations to come. President Thomas Jefferson said, and I quote, "The issuing power should be taken from the banks and restored to the people to whom it properly belongs." End of quote. Therefore, MMM as a mutual aid system does not aim to destroy the existing financial structure, but seeks to create a new, never yet seen community where everyone will live in prosperity and enjoy life, and the current financial system will no longer be needed by itself. It will simply lose out competition. Eventually, global financial apocalypse will happen. So break free. Join us. We're in a community of people helping people. Freedom is now in your hands. You and only you can break the chains of financial enslavement. Be brave, my friend. Decide now. The great Malayan Jose P. Rizal said, "Victory is the child of struggle." No matter what we do to bail out of the financial enslavement, we have to struggle. But no matter what we do, at the end would be victory. This is the only way. We expect you to join us, and together we will change the world. Thank you.